we have to talk about the big news of the day that all of the big lib media outlets have run with. The Washington Post, the New York Times, MSNBC have all had the headline, United States citizens deported by the Trump administration. Oh no, that actually would be terrible. If the United States was deporting its citizens, well, that would be a problem. Here's the thing, it's not actually what's happening, such is the case so many times when the lib media has a big story that we're running with. What actually happened is that 3 kids, I think 2 years old, 3 years old, and 7 years old, went with their mothers while they were being deported in the state of Louisiana. Their mothers, who were here illegally, were rounded up by ICE and, hey, you're not supposed to be here. They didn't have a good reason for being here and were sent off to where they came from. I believe one was from Honduras and maybe it was the other one too, but again, it doesn't really matter in the scope of this. But the big lib media outlet said, well, we deported American citizens, and there are so many flaws with that. First things first, the big contention that they are making is, well, one of the little girl's dads signed a petition to try and keep her in the country. And while that's all great, the dad won't actually talk about whether or not he's in the country legally. So it could be that both of these parents are here illegally and the kid had a birthright citizenship, which is why she's an American citizen. And again, I'm not a proponent of deporting American citizens, but at the same time, we got to get our facts straight. There's also the issue of birthright citizenship. President Trump has talked about getting rid of birthright citizenship, meaning if you're born in the United States, you automatically get all of the rights of U.S. citizens. And while that has been in place for a very long time, the libs are saying, I can't believe we're considering getting rid of this. Just for reference, I'm going to list off some countries that don't have sole birthright citizenship. Australia, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, South Korea, New Zealand, Switzerland, United Kingdom, just to name a few. In other words, if we got rid of the whole birthright citizenship, it wouldn't be that uncommon, especially across first world countries. Another thing is, well, what else would happen if those kids didn't go with their mothers? We're either going to get, by the liberal media, tarred and feathered with the idea of, I can't believe we deported American citizens. Okay, well, let's just keep them here then. I can't believe they separated those kids from their mothers. It's a lose-lose situation if you're looking at it through the media lens, and well, conservatives never win in the big lib media sector. The last thing that I'll get to before we bring in our guests, and this, I don't know, may be controversial, but the mother is right. Both of the mothers that took their kids with them when they got deported are correct. If you are a pro-family like I am, and I'm in the situation where somehow my wife, let's not even say getting deported, just is moving and she didn't take our kids with her, that would be weird. It's good that those mothers decided to take their kids with them because at the end of the day, an intact family, no matter where they are in the world, is better than effectively the United States keeping some American citizen because of birthright citizenship rather than just letting him go with the mother. So the mother is right in this situation. A lot of factors to get to, and want to get to those with our fantastic guest today, host of the Hannah Faulkner Show. It is Hannah Faulkner, and also Savannah Blaes, political commentator, conservative, Instagram, TikToker, all of the other things. Guys, thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks so much for having us.
Hannah, this story, I was getting like just ding, ding, ding. I have all of the big lib media outlets that are on my phone and I get notifications all the time. We deported American citizens. Can you kind of help set the record straight here? What's going on? Did you see all the lefty media taking this story and running with it over the weekend?
Oh man, I just saw bits and pieces here and there, but I wanted to ask this. Okay, so first off, is the media complaining about the fact that the mom is taking the so-called American citizens with them back to their country? Is that what they're complaining about?
Yeah, I think so. No, they're complaining that the Trump administration, quote unquote, deported American citizens, which isn't the case. They're complaining about something that's not true, which is such as the case with the libs.
So I think this is funny. The irony of the whole situation, the hypocrisy here is just a few months ago, the Democrats and left-wing media were complaining that President Trump was going to separate families. We're going to separate the moms from the children. And now when the moms are taking their children with them, just, even if they were born in the United States, regardless, they're still taking their kids with them because those are their children. Now they're complaining because we're deporting so-called American citizens. But this is just another story, another headline of the propaganda machine, the communist propaganda machine, as I call it, twisting and distorting the facts And, it's interesting. We are the most technologically advanced society. We have more media than ever in human history, and people still believe these headlines. We have more information, more headlines than we've ever seen in American history, and people still do not even know the truth. It's very hard. I mean, you said this before the show. I mean, it is nonstop news, nonstop headlines. People can't keep up.
Yeah, and unfortunately today, the news comes with homework, because if you just read the Washington Post headlines, you would probably rightfully be appalled. But if you dig just a little bit further, you go, oh, okay, this makes sense. Savannah, I want to play this clip from Tom Homan, the border czar here, on a 60 Minutes interview last year, talking about how families can be kept together through the deportation process. Watch this.
What price do you put on national security? Is it worth it?
Is there a way to carry out mass deportation without separating families?
Of course there is. Families can be deported together.
Because the big thing was, well, they're separating families, which of course is a ridiculous comment, because if you get arrested for anything, you get separated from your kids, and they should be. But at the same time, Savannah, the libs are up in arms about this. Give us your thoughts about the whole situation. Is Tom Homan correct in this? How should we look at this?
I think he's absolutely correct. I think that, the parents knew the consequences of coming here illegally, and they have put their children in a compromising position. So if anything, people should be mad with the parents, not our legal system. If a parent were to go to jail, they're not bringing their children with them to jail. I'd hope not. But of course, if they get deported, they're going to want to bring their children with them. They're not going to want to leave them alone in the United States. I mean, children have to have a guardian, right? But even if they left their children here, then they would say in the tagline, they're separating families. How dare them? It's like it's a lose-lose situation. You can't win either way. They're always going to make something up in the media. And it's one thing to exaggerate, but it's another thing to flat out lie. And like you said, we have Google at our fingertips. We can find the truth in these stories, but they always want to spin the narrative and make it look bad.
Yeah, at some point, just an exaggeration to the extent that they do it is, in fact, a lie in and of itself. Couldn't agree more. And also, yeah, parents are the ones putting their kids in this sort of position. Hey, maybe don't come into a country illegally and you won't have to deal with any of this stuff.